Protests over the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade intensified overnight. Welcome into Wake Up Washington. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in for Marcella Robertson. And that is our top story this morning. A lot of reaction overnight starting in Phoenix, Arizona, where police used tear gas, as you can see, to break up the crowds outside of the state capitol. A spokesperson for the Department of Public Safety says the demonstrators there repeatedly pounded on the glass doors of the state Senate building and then vandalized a monument across the street, which is when they say officers deployed the tear gas. Meanwhile, in Iowa, take a look at this video here. Police say one person was injured when this pickup truck drove through a crowd of protesters at a pro-choice rally in Cedar Rapids last night. Just disturbing video there. This is as protesters marched towards the federal courthouse. The video shows activists trying to stop that truck. Witnesses told reporters the driver was hostile towards the crowd. And in Los Angeles, police arrested more than 50 people overnight. Although demonstrators did shut down a major freeway, their large march was mostly peaceful at first, but tensions then flared up after someone set off fireworks. Police then moved in and started blocking off streets and taking people into custody. Now, just to recap here, there were two decisions issued here by a 6-3 margin. The Supreme Court upheld Mississippi's law, which bans most abortions after 15 weeks. But 5 justices went even further, ruling that the Constitution does not guarantee a federal right to an abortion. Chief Justice John Roberts joined the court's 3 liberals in opposing that part. And as for here in Washington, D.C., let's see what's happening right now outside the Supreme Court. That's where we find WUSA 9's Katie Kairos, who's there live with more on the protests. Katie, how are things looking this morning?
Good morning, Nicole. Well, as you were saying, this street was completely packed with protesters yesterday after that decision came down from the Supreme Court, and we are expecting another long day of protests out here. It's fairly quiet so far, and here is a quick interview that we had with a pro-life supporter yesterday before we talked to a protester today.
Because I believe in the sanctity of human life, and I believe that everyone has the right to a birthday. Everyone has the right to be born, and I believe that the Constitution does not allow or should not allow for abortion. So I am so grateful to my Lord Jesus Christ that it was overturned.
We are expecting many more protesters out here today. One of them is Amanda McCulloch, who is out here bright and early, and she is a pro-choice supporter who wanted to come out. You were here yesterday, you're here today. How have you been feeling since you learned about the decision?
I think that I originally thought that I would be a little bit more, I wouldn't say at peace, but aware that it was coming down. But I think that seeing the actual words in print that Roe had been overturned was really impactful for me as a mother and a parent, but also as a public health professional who knows what this functionally means for the access to reproductive health services for women in our country.
And what was it like to be out here in the midst of the protests, and what made you want to come out again today?
I came out yesterday afternoon, mid-afternoon, because it felt like the right place to be. I was sitting at my laptop, and I think like a lot of people couldn't really focus on the other things that were at hand on my to-do list, and so I decided that instead I'd come spend some time here. I'm currently pregnant. I've had now 3 babies that I've carried, and as I think about what that means, bringing my body and standing in solidarity with the other pro-choice protesters seemed like the right place to be.
What are you hoping happens now, and what are you thinking about as certain laws are going into effect in many states?
I think some of my bigger concerns are the immediate access to care and services for women, especially in states that have different trigger laws on the books that are going to prevent them from accessing services. I think some of the most just heartbreaking stories I read from yesterday were around women who were actually at clinics at the time when the decision was called and had their appointments canceled. And as someone who understands and has gone through the trajectory of prenatal care and knows that there are certain things you don't even learn about your child until 12 weeks, 16 weeks, when you can do more prenatal testing and understand kind of what your pregnancy will look like. Thinking about the fact that those women are being forced to make really challenging decisions and kind of revisit something they thought was a closed book is really heartbreaking to me. So I hope that we will continue to see people step up in blue states, that we'll continue to see things like what Governor Charlie Baker did in Massachusetts in terms of codifying and supporting access to reproductive care and making sure that we're doing everything we can to make that care accessible and available as we fight the longer fight.
Amanda, thank you so much for talking to us today. And we will be definitely showing these protests as they get underway throughout the day. For now, I'm going to send it back to you, Nicole. Katie Kairos, WUSA 9.
Yeah, Katie, I was out there when that decision came down. You know, just a lot of emotion from people both pro-choice and pro-life. That was the big takeaway for me, just a lot of emotion out there. Katie, we'll check back in with you in about 30 minutes. Thank you.